Everyone, I know this is a very last minute impromptu live chat that I'm doing, and I'm doing it today at this moment because today is full moon. And as I posted the other day about full moon fasting, especially for women, I thought I would give out some information about it, probably a very short kind of like understanding about full moon fasting and how I know I'm talking especially for women, but it is just not for women, but even men can do it depending upon what phases of life that they're going through. Anyone and everyone can actually do a fast on full moon. So I've actually put down a few things for you to know why for us full moon fasting is so essential and important, especially this one, the one that we have today. We also call it as the Falgun Purnima. And it is quite an essential one because it is actually that kind of junction between where winter is coming to an end and spring is starting. So again, it is also in line with the spring equinox, as you say. Sorry about my Indian English or pronunciation. And not only that, but the most amazing thing also is, because I was writing down all the notes for this quick chat today, and I realized that the Falgun Purnima is such that it is actually a combination of, on this particular day, we actually pray to Lord Vishnu, who is one of the Trinity, but we also look at him as a sun god or someone who comes from that Suryavanshi dynasty. It is all to do with that sun related, qualities. But interestingly, Falgun Purnima is also the day on which we pray to moon god, which for us, when we look into moon, is also Lord Shiva, and it is his day tomorrow. So today is sun, Sunday, tomorrow is moon, Monday. So it is the perfect time to even carry out a fasting on a day like today. So and do bear in mind, everything that I'm going to be talking about now is just not for today's fasting, but any full moon fasting that you want to follow. This is a really good format to follow because it's not just about it being religious or of course spiritual, but not just about it being religious, but it is also about coming from that Vedic background. It is also to do with Ayurvedic healing and health too. So it is all put together. So I've just put down a few lists for you to know as to things that can be followed today. So when it comes to fasting, yes, nowadays things, our attitude towards fasting has changed, where we say that yes, when we fast, we should not eat food. But then do bear in mind that whenever we talk about fasting in Ayurveda, it is also to do with how you control your 5 sensory functions, especially your reactions to things around you. So yes, you may spend all of today eating only one meal for that particular day or today, but for the rest of the time, if you're going to be irritable, angry, snapping at people, then that fasting actually holds no meaning because you have not actually disciplined the 5 sensory functions too. So it is a combination. So coming to the full moon fasting, especially, of course, now what we're going to be talking about is for women. For us in Vedic sciences or in Ayurveda, the lunar cycle actually relates to women, and the solar cycle is more to do with men or the masculine energy, and hence full moon fasting really helps women from that point of view. So what the scriptures say is, of course, wake up early in the morning, cleanse yourself, have a shower and everything. But the first thing to do after that is just to go out and stand out in the open, that is when the sun rises up with the sun rays, so that the body absorbs that healing energy from the sun. So that is the first thing that you would do in the morning is, of course, wake up early and go have a shower, everything, go out there and greet the sun. But then now during the day, it is, of course, important that you are having plenty of fluids, liquids, but then do bear in mind that these fluids and liquids can't be too, how can I say, heating or a fire-related stimulating, because today is full moon day. Today is the day when the tissues need to be nourished. Today is the day when everything needs to go, if you want to call it, more alkaline, more sattvic, more calming, more cooling. So it is that attitude. So even in terms of fluids, yes, kind of soothing herbal teas. People can also have coconut water today as a part of, liquids, fluids. And the other thing that I would also suggest is probably some warm milk or hot milk during the day to have. So plenty of liquids during the day, but then one main meal during the day. Now for this main meal, especially on full moon fasting day, there are few specific foods that we talk about. And of course, in our Indian language, we would say, oh yes, for all foods that are white, white foods. So literally foods that look white, but then also foods that have got more alkaline, sattvic and anti-inflammatory properties. So today is the day to have more foods like cooked rice. You can have milk, you can have yogurt, you can have ghee, you can have buttermilk, and you can also have fresh grated coconut or coconut in any way or form, including coconut milk, coconut water. So all of these are sattvic white food. So under that also then comes honey, then comes panchamrit, pancha meaning 5, and amrit is elixir. So it's a combination of 5 various sattvic fluids put together. So that is also something that you can have. But then along with that, when it comes to other foods, and yeah, under white we also look into it as moong dal, that is a yellow split mung bean. So today is one of the best days to have khichdi as a part of your fasting. But then along with that, some greens or vegetables are essential. So under that we usually talk about, again, more alkaline anti-inflammatory greens. So these are things like lettuce. You can also have stir-fried okra today. You could also have sweet corn. You can have peas. So any greens that are more cooling, calming and alkaline. So best is that one main meal that you're going to be having. I know, I do understand that in Ayurveda we do say that the main meal has to be around lunchtime, and rightly so, because there is a saying in Ayurveda that as long as the sun is on top of our head, just the way that sun is the strongest during the day, likewise even our digestive fire is strongest during midday or afternoon time. And hence whatever food that we eat around that time gets completely digested, absorbed, and will be turned into nutrients. So that is what has been said. But then do bear in mind that we live in the age of Kali Yuga. And talking about Kali Yuga, people who did attend my Zoom session, you know what kind of, various things can happen in our times of Kali Yuga, age of darkness. So under this time of Kali Yuga, you will see that we get very easily influenced by the environment around us and the way people talk, even their energies, the way they reflect on us, So there is a lot of dry heat kind of changes around. So at such times, yes, you can have your main meal during afternoon time, but then come 6-7 p.m. you may start feeling hungry again. And that is the time when many people tend to start snacking. And people might say, oh yes, I might just have a bit of milk to drink, but then that milk may turn into hot chocolate. That hot chocolate then may turn into chocolate. So you never know what may happen. And hence, do bear in mind when I'm talking about that main time to eat your main meal is in today's environment. And I would suggest probably around 5 or 6 p.m. in the evening, because from that point of view, when you have had nice, healthy, nourishing food or dinner, like early dinner around that time, then even your sleep will be deep and won't get affected. And that is what sometimes may happen, that if you don't have nourishing foods in the evening, it may affect your sleep, especially bearing in mind the environment around us. So evening time is the best time to have your main meal. So, and as I've just now mentioned, all these white foods, but then talking about white foods on today, Falgun Purnima Day, we also say that we actually offer our Indian rice pudding to gods. But then at the same time, we will also have that Indian rice pudding, that is kheer as we call it, for ourselves to eat or consume, because once again, it is very calming, nourishing, and it is very, how can I say, cooling for the mind. It has got that just stimulating effect on the mind and on the brain too. So anytime after your meal, if you want to have kheer or as a prasad, as we say, offering to God, that's the best thing to have. So this is more about the food and liquids. So bear in mind, plenty of liquids during the day. Herbal teas, you can have your turmeric milk, you can have coconut water. Yes, you can have maybe 1 or 2 cups of chai also, because ultimately it is pure liquid with some amount of, you can add some ginger, you can add fennel to your chai. So that is also fine, but one main meal during the day. But then along with that, on that full moon day, to make it even more effective, the other things that you can do, now 2 things. On full moon day, we believe that when the moon is in that full moon state, it is believed that the heavens open up their doors or the gateways to us. So it's like, you can imagine, it is almost like that alien sci-fi movie kind of thing, but it literally is that, whereby the conduit from us to the higher power, if you want to call it, opens up. And whatever you do on that full moon day actually affects you karmically too. So what we also say is that on full moon day is the best time to actually donate something, charity. Do bear in mind that charity doesn't always have to be just giving money or giving food. And having said that, one of the best charities, even karmically, is to donate food. It's not money, it is not gold, it is nothing else but food, because the way food can change a person's environment internally and externally, nothing else can. So on full moon days, yes, charity of any kind, but that charity can also be any kind of selfless act or action. So if you want to, on full moon days, go to a food bank and donate food over there, or go to any charity organizations, maybe some old people's home, to just talk to those old elderly people, that also really works. And why are we talking about charity on full moon day is, as I said, that conduit opens up to the higher self. So the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, are looking down on us. And through that charity on full moon day, you are actually, how can I say, wiping out any of those karmic inflictions, any kind of post-karmic effects, karma-related effects in our life. You're actually starting to work towards it. So charity on full moon day. So this is what I will also say, that even if you don't want to fast, it really doesn't matter. Fasting is not the essential point of a full moon day. On full moon days, and also in a way new moon days, but especially today, doing that charity work is really important. So if you're able to, please, go out and do it. That is much, much, much more effective based on your energies, emotions, mind, and our past karmic actions too. So that is the other thing that you can do today. And the other thing for today is actually sound therapy. If this was typical India over here, or if I was in an Indian family, we would have been doing puja, meaning, we sing aartis, these songs loudly. We ring bells, we ring those, like chaman is what we say, little kind of metal things together, because through sound therapy, you're changing the environment. So even if you're not able to sing aartis or sing loudly, doesn't matter. If you've got a singing bowl or meditation bowl at home, just play that, from going from room to room. In that way, once again, you're changing the environment, you're changing, if you want to call it, the vibration of through that day on that full moon day. Because again, sound therapy, once again, through that conduit, as I mentioned earlier, you are changing the way, as they say in a very trendy way, how you vibe. Your vibrations, your frequencies also change. And if you're to do these three things on full moon day, that is fasting, if you're able to, charity work, and sound therapy on full moon day, as often as possible, I promise you, if you were to do it for like 3-4 months, people will at the end of it ask you or tell you or compliment you, saying you radiate a very different energy, meaning literally radiate energy which is a healthy energy. And not only that, fasting on full moon day actually also helps towards anti-aging. Anti-aging on all levels, because while the moon is really strong up there, even though it might be cloudy, it does not matter. But the kind of healing rays or energy the moon sends down to earth, it is trying to, literally, you can imagine, like milk. That is why you will see that on full moon day we drink milk, we offer milk to gods, because milk is cooling, it is anti-inflammatory, and it is calming. So that is how that moon energy shines down on earth. And likewise, when you fast on full moon days, or even, as I said, charity or sound therapy, you will radiate a very different energy. So it's, even if not for, and I'm going to joke now, even if not for charity or to wipe away your past karmic actions or anything like that, or to get rid of illnesses and diseases, do it at least for the sake of anti-aging. If you want to get rid of those fine lines, wrinkles or whatever, start fasting on full moon days. Okay, so that is all that I had over here. I know I can talk forever, but those were the few things that I wanted to talk about in terms of the importance and why fasting on full moon day helps. And of course, especially for women too, because it helps to bring changes in the endocrine system and the reproductive system. It changes the way the thyroid works, it changes the way the liver works, and it also changes the way, in Ayurveda, people who know Ayurveda, you will know it changes the way apana vayu or apana vata moves out of the body. Okay, so that's for now, and I'm going to go back to my fasting and my meditation bowls and my charity and everything, whatever that I can do. And I hope you have a great Sunday on your side. Thank you. Have a great day.